Hello, hello, and welcome, my Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your timeless soulmate read, first reading of the day for November 2020. I am your reader, Angelo, lYONS, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lions, Angelo lYONS, but you can call me Mal. Hello, my fire signs, my cardinal fire, Aries, friends, my subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you for your love and support and your comments and your notification bells and all of that fun stuff. Now with the blog out, the Mal and Mal introductions is out. More people are finding us, so I'm really just so very thrilled with the forward motion in my career, and I have you guys to thank. Thank you so much for sharing stuff and all that jazz. To the new people watching me, if you have not subscribed yet, please do, right? If you like the reading, please like it. If you like me, if you like the way I read and all that, please subscribe, because you see there's an extended reading for this series. We're doing 12 cards here on YouTube and another 12 cards on Vimeo, because I don't have the membership function yet. You can only get that once you have 30,000 subscribers. So if you want to check out the extended, you got to jump over to Vimeo, and it's pay-per-view, right? I'm doing $5 per extended reading, but once I have the membership thing, 30,000 subscribers, I put all of the extended readings in the member content, and you pay one price per month, right? It's just another form of subscription, right? So please do consider it, and I'll try and remind you at the end. Yes, Melchior, come sit with Mama. Come on, you little troublemaker. It's my little kitten who's a moose. Kitten moose, come on up. Come on up. No, you just want to meow? Motherhood. So, anyway, you will actually get to see the first card of the extended reading in the preview that I have at the end. It's just something that I learned how to do, and it's kind of fun for me. So let's get up in this gig. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, as we are going to be looking at a soulmate contract for you. And this is why you want to check your other signs, because we all have soulmate contracts. Soulmates and twin flames, not the same thing. There are links in the description box below that will redefine those, at least the new definition put forth by Matt Kahn. His healing mantra deck will be the last card down in the extended reading, so go check those out. Okay. Kitty's zooming all over the place. Twin flames and soulmates are not the same thing, but they're both soul contracts. The soulmate contracts, you help each other heal. The twin flame contracts, you teach each other how to heal yourselves. Now, they sound like there's no difference. There's a big difference there. Twin flames, turbulent, right? Tormenting, but transformative. They teach you how to love and heal yourself, right? Set boundaries and all that. And they're not all romantic, sexual. My father and I had, bless his soul, God rest his soul, a twin flame contract. My mother and I have a soulmate contract. We help each other heal, right? Just from utero, right? So the ones we are looking at in this particular read are the romantic ones, the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contracts, just to see where you are in one particular contract. Now, if you've got more than one romantic dealio going on, one of your other signs might cover that, but if there's one really particular that you're dealing with, check it out. You're going to get different archetypes and different angles for all of them. Cool. I guess that's about it. All you got to do is stay in the present moment and breathe, right? Just feel what goes on in your energy field and in your body. Not so much what the mind says. The ego speaks first and loudest, right? So allow the thoughts to go by. I mean, pay attention to them, obviously, but really focus by being in the now, focusing on your breath, how readings resonate, and resonation is an energy thing, not a thought thing, although thoughts are energy, blah, blah, blah. Get what I'm saying? All right, that's enough exposition. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. Let's do this. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck to get, divine masculine, divine feminine. This side of the road will be the divine feminine. This side of this lane, divine feminine. This lane, divine masculine. The center lane will be the contract itself. And we're going to get 3 of these cards, but the one for the center lane we are saving for the extended read, but you will see it in the preview. Breathe. Because it's already been a day of prayer. It has already been a day of prayer. I'm actually releasing these a day later, so I'm doing this on Monday, so this will be published Election Day. Great fun. Something to watch if you're standing online. Breathe. Oh, here we go. There you are. My collective pantheons of angels. angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, can I have 3 cards? One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine, and one for the overall contract. What contract? The Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, November 2020. Please, one for the divine feminine. Just leave it in my hand. Thank you. One for the divine masculine, and one for the contract itself that we will see in the extended. In fact, I'm going to put that way up top so I don't flip it over by accident. Now remember, divine masculine, divine feminine has nothing to do with bodily gender. I am a divine feminine when I work. I'm a divine masculine in the sheets. That doesn't rhyme. I don't know how to make that rhyme right now, but give me a minute. It'll come to me eventually. And of course, then the center card is the overlighting. Oh shit, the overlighting vibe here. So neither one of these two archetypes are fun, right? At least the name isn't. There's light and shadow and everything, but this is what you are helping each other heal, whether you know each other or not, whether you've met each other or not, whether you are together in same time-space proximity or not. We've got the divine feminine addict archetype, but don't freak out. It's not saying that you're an addict if you're a divine feminine. When we get to the light side, you'll see what that means if you've dealt with addicts before. Just saying. And the divine masculine martyr. Now, just to clarify, the addict is the wild card family of archetypes. There are 9 different families, right? The martyr is the divine family. So with a wild card archetype, you never really know, right? It's like a wild card. So I'm going to read you the shadow and the light. Really breathe as I do this, because these are both very heavy addicts, and I can say we are off and running with these reads. But let's take a look. The shadow attribute of the addict, we all know that, compromises integrity and honesty, right? Allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Now, that's very, very different than saying you're hooked on something, right? It can be any addictive pattern. It can be an addictive pattern of thinking. It can be an addictive pattern of emotion, particularly because emotions have biological counterparts, you know, hormones and all that stuff. So the light attribute, the alchemy of going from lead to gold, from shadow to light, helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, like maybe not just in you, but in others as well. Now, when we're talking about relationships, there's a whole pantheon of relationship addictions, right? Codependency probably being, you know, the grand high of all of them. But there's also romance addiction and sex addiction and fear of intimacy, which leads to one-night standing, although there's nothing wrong with that if that's your path. And there's nothing wrong with any of it. It's all the soul's journey, right? So very incredibly powerful that you're helping each other, regardless of whether you're divine masculine or divine feminine, heal some addictive patterns. Different than a twin flame, which would exacerbate those patterns, right? So that you heal yourself. This, you're helping each other heal. So the martyr in its shadow is toxic, like any archetype in its shadow is toxic. But in the light, this is like such a high, powerful archetype in the divine family. The shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. So right there, that's what I said when I saw it, I was like, oh boy. So there's addiction written in both cards here. But the light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, and perhaps even this soulmate contract, right? So wherever, and this is a general read, right? So if you look on a percentage level of where you are from lead to gold in either of these, right, that's going to flex and change and move as you grow and evolve and heal. Alchemy is a two-way street. You can turn lead to gold, but you can also turn gold to lead, right? So this is an ongoing thing. All right, we know who we're dealing with. Let's keep going. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Divine Feminine and 5 Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine to do an element spread. It's one of my favorite things to do is an element spread. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. Now, while I'm saying the prayers, you'll hear it, but I will also call out what each position means in terms of symbolic power as we go as well. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, this feels good. Hi, My goddesses, the collective divine feminine energy of the universe, please. My goddesses of fire and the sign of Aries. I need 5 cards. I'll call them out one at a time. Element spread for the divine feminine who is dealing with the addict archetype in some way, shape, or form. Remember, and I didn't say this in this read yet, I will. When you have an archetype show up representing you, it's either your archetype, the archetype of somebody else that you're dealing with. In other words, there's an alchemical chemistry going on there, or in a situation, right? So really, the clarity, please, my goddesses, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, for this divine feminine dealing with the addict archetype in some way, shape, or form, please. What is her? Remember, I'm saying her and him just to keep it straight in my head. For this divine feminine, what is her element of fire? Face down, what does she want? Element of earth, what does she have? The fuel that feeds the fire. The element of air, it feels good to be doing this. Element of air, what is she thinking about this contract? This is all about the contract. This isn't just what they're going through in any given moment. Element of water, what is she feeling about this contract? Yes, I will change the languaging. Thank you. And I think the most important, the point of view of the soul, the card of spirit. What is the point of view, the voice of the soul that was chosen to incarnate into this soulmate contract, November 2020. All right, we're just going to lay out the same deal, different deck, Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine, dealing with the Martyr archetype, so that we can turn them over the same elements at the same time. You'll see. If you're new, you'll see. I love it. Love doing it this way, and it's much quicker. Breathe. See how my shoulders drop? It's like, oh, let it go. Oh, let's not go Elsa, shall we? My gods, please. I need 5 cards in clarity. The element spread for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for this divine masculine dealing with the martyr archetype. Please, what is his element of fire? What does he want in this contract? Element of earth, what does he have to help feed and fuel that fire in this contract? Element of air, what's he thinking about this contract? Remember, just saying he here to keep it straight in my head. Element of water, what is he feeling about this soulmate contract? And I really do think the most important, what is the point of view of the soul that was chosen to incarnate into this soulmate contract? The voice or the point of view of the soul, the card of spirit in this contract. All right, now we're going to use these same 2 decks in the extended for simple timeline. We're going to use the divine feminine is going to get the Mythic Tarot, and the divine masculine is going to get the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, so we get that yin-yang balance here. So let's see. What element of fire? What do they want? Well, very similar. They both got fire cards in a fire position. The divine feminine addict here wants victory. Now, this is the 7 of flames, which would be the 7 of wands in the Rider-Waite traditional tarot, which is usually considered the 6 of wands. This deck does it differently, and I like that. These are women galloping with fire in their hands, galloping on molten lava that has recently cooled, right? So there's a whole undercurrent, like the underground part of it, the unseen part of this is moving them in the same direction. So whether that is, you know, victory over these addictions, these patterns, whatever, we shall see. But the Divine Masculine has the Sagittarius card, right? So we're looking at 9th house energy here, maybe wanting to be that Sagittarian energy here. It doesn't have to be Sagittarius, Sun, Moon. I don't read court cards that way. It's definitely the sign of Sagittarian. It's the Archer. That's what I love about the Mythic Tarot and Daughters of the Moon. It says right what the sign is on it. It's not all 3 signs, it's one. Mutable fire. So probably wanting to gallop in, wanting to be the passionate hero in this. And the 4 knights, because they're on horses, there are 4 speeds with a horse. There is walk, Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. There is Trot, Knight of Cups. There is Cantor, I like Cantor. That is the Knight of Wands, and Gemini, Gallop, right? So coming along at a rather, wants to come along, and wants to move this thing forward and expand the desire, right? Sagittarius, 9th house, ruled by Jupiter, expansion, and all that jazz. So I would say, oh look, and they're all riding horses in the same direction. I didn't even see that, right? So they're all moving in the same direction. So I think they both want the same thing, and that's usually soulmate, right? Even if they're not expressing it. But what's their element of earth? What do they have to fuel the fire? Okay, you both have aces. Holy crap. So what the Divine Feminine has here is the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Flames, creation, a spark, an inspiration if you like, but something very desire-driven. It's like, I want this. I want this, right? Like all of a sudden you find out they do something new with pizza, and it happens to involve some of the things you love, and you're like, oh, I want that. Right? Ooh, piece of candy, right? And here we have the Ace of Blades, Athena. So the ability to communicate, the ability to think this through. Wow, these lights are really bright. You can't even see Athena. Here, I got pants on. Nah, that doesn't help. I don't know if you can see her. All right, the Taurus reading will turn down the lights a little late now. But both of you are in new beginnings with this, right? So it might be you haven't met yet, right? That's why we're not going to be able to tell from this. The timeline and the extended, we should be able to see that a little bit more. But really, really getting the vibe on this, that there is, you both want the same thing, and you're both in the same place, though you are more passionate and more willing to initiate through fire, where really thinking about it, like really clean slate mentally. I like this. Like considering the archetypes we're dealing with, this is actually pretty healthy. We'll see. Well, what's going on mentally? What's going on in the element of air here? Well, you guys are definitely paralleling each other. The Divine Feminine has the Hermit, the wise one, and the Divine Masculine has Athena, again, the card of justice. So what this one's thinking is about, I need time to figure this out. I need time to myself, or maybe thinking about, I have been hermited. Now it's 2020. Everybody's probably felt a little hermited, unless you're like living with people you can't get away from, right? I live alone. It's me and my cats, right? So I can get that. I can get really contemplating, but then there's something here, not just about being alone or lonely. Hermits go voluntarily, right? So thinking about, maybe I'm going to go this alone. Maybe I'm going to take some time to myself. Maybe I'm going to climb up to the top of the mountain. In this case, she's the Kaliach is riding a gray horse flying over a stone circle. Looks like Stonehenge, but let's not say it's Stonehenge, right? Because someone will say, that's not Stonehenge, and that's okay. So thinking about that. And the Divine Masculine here, I don't often say this, but it feels like there's something legal for some of y'all, whether this is about dealing with a marriage or a marriage contract, or just there's a legal aspect, but we're looking at truth and justice here, right? So for those of you where he's not dealing with something legal, even if they are, there's this thing about bringing things into balance so things are just, right? So maybe if you two do know each other, there's been some dishonorable stuff going on. There's been some deception going on. He's really thinking about how to balance this to make it fair. Let's see what they are feeling in the element of water. Yeah, no, this Divine Feminine needs more time, right? This is the Eight of Cups, withdrawal. Not so much walking away, but walking into a cave. And when you match that with the Hermit, what she's thinking and feeling, this might be a rehab situation. Right, this might be a thing where, no, I need to isolate myself. I need to walk away into myself to find my 9th cup, right, to find my wish fulfillment. Because I do feel like with this card, we have a woman here who's taken a boat to an island, carrying a torch, following a trail of 8 cups, some spilled, some full and upright, but the 9th one is in there within. Right, so there's a very interesting dynamic here. And here we have, again, very interesting how he's feeling is the 6 of Pentacles. So really wanting to balance this out. Equal give and take. not just in terms of physicality, pentacles, but in that thing of that stability and balance emotionally. So he's feeling kind of balanced about this, right? So even if the divine feminine says, I can't do this right now, I'm dealing with some shit, right? I need to go in and find that which is always there for me, not something that can be taken or given, like the soul, like the spirit. And how many rehabilitation processes involve the divine in some way, shape, or form, or at least spirituality, right? Higher power, gender-neutral higher power. So I kind of get this. I kind of get, and well, okay. By the way, if the divine feminine has any empathic skill, she's picking up on the uncertainty of the time right now, and people are afraid, and it feels so make or break right now in the world with everything going on. So maybe retreating or has retreated into some old patterns or dealing with addicts in their life. There just feels like there's a lot going on here. And yet what she has is this new desire, a desire for something new, a spark. I mean, it's tricky, but I like it. Point of view of the soul, like I said, the spirit card, probably the most important. And here we have the moon and the 8 of cups. So we have 2 8 of cups. I would call that a pretty obvious, the soul for the divine masculine and the emotion for the divine feminine. And with the moon, that there are things hidden, perhaps even unto the divine feminine. Not that she's hiding stuff necessarily. I mean, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. It's going to play itself out differently depending who's watching. But really saying, go deep. Go into the depth of your intuition. Go into what you are really feeling. Dive into the emotional world here. Connect with your soul, perhaps more than on an intellectual, conceptual level, but more emotional, experiential. Like, feel your feelings. You got to feel it to heal it. Love whatever arises, love that. Matt Kahn's first book. And here we've got the 8 of cups, the soul saying, honey, pull back. Go deeper. They're both being given that same energy of going deep within themselves. This is Psyche of Cupid and Eros and Psyche. Cupid is the Roman version. These are Greek cards, or Greek myths. Sent into the underworld by Eros' mother Aphrodite to get some beauty cream from Persephone because, you know, shopping. She didn't want to go down herself, so sends her down there in order to complete some tasks, right? So there's inner work here for both of them. Now remember, if you two are together in the same space, then you need to give each other space. Self-love, the 4 pillars of self-love. Learn this from Matt Kahn. You need time for yourself. You need space for yourself. You need rest for yourself, and you need breath. You put all those 4 together, you are loving yourself. Other ways to do it, but I like that, right? It's not just a nap. It's really focusing in and giving your focus and your attention to whatever is going on in you physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Really, really, really interesting. So we've got 5, 10, 11, 12 cards on the table with the 13th that you will see in the preview. So let me pop up the overview of where we are right now, and then we'll jump over to the extended, shall we? Magic clap. We have got the divine feminine here as the addict archetype. The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. And with that 7 of flames, she wants victory. She wants to overcome whatever it is she needs to overcome, because addictions are there to be healed and overcome. Everything essentially in this world is here to be overcome, but particularly that thing of helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior within yourself, with somebody else. She really wants a victory in this contract. Whatever it is that she really wants here, part of it is that 7 of flames, right? And with that 1 of flames, what she has is she has a good beginning. She has an impulse, she has an inspiration, she has a creativity, she has a fresh new beginning with this, but her mind is like, why don't I take this ace of, there's such a predominance of fire here for the divine feminine. I mean, 3 out of 5 cards, the other 2 being major arcana, that kind of magnifies things. So taking that, if you want to see it this way, she's got that 1 of flames, right, that spark, and she's thinking about taking that spark with the hermit in her mind into her emotions carrying a torch, right? Now, not carrying a torch for somebody necessarily. Maybe that's the case. But following that inspiration into the self. This could be shadow work. This could be emotional healing work. This could be inner child work. It could be any sort of psychological, soul, spiritual healing stuff going on, or at least that opportunity is there for her. And that's really what she feels. She's like, I really need to make sure I am ready for this. And with that card of the moon, the voice of the soul, it's saying so much is unclear right now in the world. Again, if there's an empathic skill here, because everybody's supposed to have social empathy, but I'm talking about divine feminine first wave empath energy, the empathic field. So she might very well be feeling other people's stuff and not being aware of it. So what better to do really than pull back, self-care, right? That there is something very divinely guided about, well, all relationships are divinely guided, twin flame, soulmate, what have you. But with the two major arcana cards there, the Hermit and the Moon, you really have the crone and the hermit. There's maiden, mother, crone in this deck. The priestess is the maiden, the empress is the mother, the hermit is the crone. And with that moon, the moon has all three of those within those. So there's definitely great, big, huge alchemy available in this contract. And remember, this is not twin flame. You're going to help each other heal, and there's no weirdness about that. It's not, I'm going to teach you how to heal yourself. No, I'm going to help you heal. I'm here for you. So let's jump over and look at the divine masculine. We've got the martyr archetype. Again, a divine family archetype of such bright light. The shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. So again, there's the shadow side of addiction on both sides here for these two. But the light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. I mean, we think of martyrs only in the shadow, but think about Gandhi. You know, Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus, Buddha, right? Mohammed, Abraham, right? They all had to give up what they were doing, right? In order to experience the transcendent nature of service to a cause, but all of them had to serve themselves as well, right? I mean, sitting under a Bodhi tree for 40 years, Buddha, got it. Jumping over the wall, Buddha, got it, right? That was service to himself, if you want to go there, that then of course led to a much greater service to a cause. And with that Knight of Wands, he's ready to go, right? Wants to jump in. Now, if with the amount of fire in this divine feminine, if there was a Sagittarian placement here in the divine feminine, that would make sense as well, very much wanting, but there is passion here and wants it fast and wants to change things up. Really, really feel, I know a lot of people say the Knight of Wands is the player, but not with that martyr archetype there. This is somebody who's moving forward with passion, but at a canter, not a gallop. And what he's got is the Ace of Swords, a whole new mindset, a whole new way of looking at this, new idea coming in, and perhaps the ability to clarify through communication. And what's on his mind? Justice, right? His element of air. How do we do this honorably? How do we do this justly? How do we do this in balance? And I do feel, for, I don't know, give me a percentage, guys, maybe 25 to 30% of those watching this, the divine masculine really has a legal matter on their mind, but it's still the same. I really get for this divine masculine with a martyr archetype that there is definitely a desire to do this the right way. Balanced, fair, just, as in justice, right? And with that Six of Pentacles emotionally, this is someone who's got some emotional balance under their feet and really wanting to give and take in equal measure emotionally here. But the point of view of the soul is saying, pull back, honey, go inside, do your work. Now, I'm not seeing anything in these four cards previous, but if there is any self-pity going on here, if there is any martyrdom going on here, then there is there's pain inside that needs to be addressed. So the addiction issue is here on both sides, but regardless, we are looking at a soulmate contract here where they are going to help each other heal. And here's the beauty of soulmate contracts, through quantum entanglement. So even if they are in the same space or not, whether they have met each other or not, the healing that they do for themselves, through quantum entanglement, is helping the other heal. And there you have it. My Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. I mean, obviously the predominance of fire is on this side, although we have a fire card here, but in this fire position. This could be the Aries Again, that's going to play itself out differently. But I think this is a healthy movement forward, right? A healthy soulmate contract. So, may the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, November 2020, that they may help each other heal, help each other grow, help each other learn, help each other evolve and become the best that they can be, fulfilling their roles in this contract and in the divine plan for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So I'm going to be. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. The preview is coming up next. If you want to jump over to Vimeo, the link is the first link in the description box. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of it all, my Aries friends. Hail. Farewell and blessed, blessed be. Hello, hello, and welcome to the extended reading. My Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. If you're watching the preview, I'm going to turn over the archetype card as I said I would for this overall contract, and then we will get into it. So this will be the first of 12 cards, 12 on YouTube, 12 on Vimeo. Keep in mind we have this Addict archetype, the divine feminine, hers, dealing with it in somebody else. Maybe it's an entire situation going on in their lives. This divine masculine has the Martyr, and I will agree, those are very hard words to hear in the shadow, but in their light, they're so powerful and so transcendent, and you're helping each other heal. So what's the dominant archetype in the contract itself? Oh, the gossip archetype, creative family of archetype, and we all know gossip, right? It can be an addictive pattern in and of itself, particularly in the shadow attribute, thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, right? Betraying confidences. Now, that might be something that's going on, if not within the soulmate contract, about the soulmate contract. So even if there's not a gossip here in either one of you, there's something going on here that's the shadow. But the light awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So I honestly would not believe anything you hear about one another from peripheral characters. This is a soulmate contract. Even if there's like horrible things that have happened in the past, you're helping each other heal. Look, if you resist these soul contracts, twin flame or soulmate, like I try and avoid twin flames, but you can't, because you don't know what they are, whether it's twin flame or soulmate, until you're already in, right? It's sort of like that. You got to bite the pie to find out what it is, right? The hostess pie. Russian roulette hostess pie. Fruit pie. So really feeling here with this gossip that there is this cloud over this relationship, and it's really hard to honor the trust if people are dripping poison in your ear, so to speak, trying to be the turd in the punch bowl, the fly in the ointment here. Now, remember, a lot of times when somebody has the gossip archetype, and I'm not feeling that these two have that, but everybody got their archetypes manifest for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? It's like eau de toilette, cologne, perfume, 3 levels of strength, 3 levels of power. So you might have heard things about the other person, whether you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine. That could be something that's driving you both inward with those 8 of Cups to walk away. Not so much, again, it's not so much walk away as into yourselves. There's a lot of self-healing here that you're going to help each other heal with. And again, if you haven't met yet, keep an eye on the gossip, right? Just keep in mind people are going to be gossiping. All right, let's move on to our next card. We're going to use Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue to see what is the angel assigned to this soulmate contract, November 2020. Please breathe.